Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about a quiet but really important moment of decision. It's a moment that, every single professional faces, where the choice isn't really between right and wrong, but between doing something fast and doing something right. So let's get into this story.
You know how it is. It always starts with something small, a single notification, just a quiet little signal that somewhere something isn't quite working the way it should be. And then the pressure starts to build. Suddenly, it's not just a system alert anymore. It's a human problem. Real people can't do their work. And that quiet signal, well, it's just become a loud chorus of frustration. So in that moment, with all that pressure building, a single thought just pops into your head. And I bet it's one you've had yourself. Maybe I should just restart it. It's so tempting, right? It feels decisive, powerful even. A simple, clean action that promises to just make the whole problem vanish. But that urge, that temptation to just hit the reset button, it's often the worst first reaction you can have. Today, we're going to explore exactly why that is and what a true professional chooses to do instead. So let's meet our main character, Chris. Chris is a system administrator, and right now it's about 11:20 in the morning. Tickets are flooding in about slow logins. Managers are pinging him for updates. The clock is ticking, and you can just feel that all eyes are on him. And what's really fascinating here is the psychology behind it all. See, when we're under pressure, our brains just crave action. Doing something, anything. It feels like we're making progress. It gives us this illusion of control in what feels like a totally chaotic situation. But here's the thing, and this is the absolutely crucial point. That impulsive action, that quick restart, it has a massive hidden cost. A restart doesn't just stop the problem, it erases all the evidence. Think about it. All the clues, the logs, the error states. Poof, they're gone. It's literally like wiping fingerprints from a crime scene before the investigation can even start. And this brings us right to Chris's critical moment. He's got the restart window open on his screen. His finger is just hovering over the mouse. But instead of clicking, he pauses. And then he closes the window. He's standing at a fork in the road, making a huge choice. On one path, he could restart right now. Yeah, it would feel good for a second, but it would wipe all the clues, and chances are the problem would just come right back. But on the other path, he can investigate first. It's slower, for sure, and way more deliberate, but it saves the very evidence he needs to find the real cause. So why does he pick the harder path? Well, experience has taught him a tough lesson. He's remembering this incident from last year. A quick restart seemed to fix everything, but then the very same problem came roaring back the next day, and it was 10 times worse, all because the root cause was never actually found. At that moment, he makes this really important mental shift. He stops seeing the slow logins as just a problem he needs to erase. Instead, he starts seeing them as clues. The symptoms aren't the enemy here. They're the data that's going to lead him straight to the solution. So Chris doesn't guess. He investigates. He methodically starts pulling up his monitoring dashboards, looking at all the metrics, the session data, the logs. He's not looking for a magic button. He's looking for a pattern. And just by being patient, by observing, he finds it. The problem isn't everywhere. Nope, it's concentrated. A very specific group of servers is showing crazy high CPU usage. This is it. This is his first big clue. And by following that one thread, it leads him to that aha moment. He checks the change logs and boom, there it is, the true cause. A brand new software update deployed just this morning is eating up way more resources than anyone ever expected. If he had just restarted, that clue would have been lost forever. See, by choosing to investigate instead of just reacting, Chris did way more than just stop the bleeding. He found the source of the wound, and that's what allowed him to work with the development team on a real, actual, permanent fix. What Chris did, it actually follows this clear, repeatable process, kind of like a professional's checklist. It all starts with observing the symptoms without any judgment. Then you define the scope, like who's actually being affected. Next, check for any recent changes. You gather your evidence, and only then, once you have a clear picture, do you decide on the right way to intervene. And throughout this whole process, Chris is communicating. He's letting his managers know what he's found and explaining why he's taking this more careful approach.
That kind of transparency is so powerful. It builds trust and it shows everyone that he's focused on a lasting solution, not just a quick and dirty fix.
You know, this story isn't really about servers or software at all. It's about a mindset. It's about learning how to resist those panic-driven decisions, even when the pressure feels absolutely immense. Let's actually give this a name. Let's call it the professional's pause. It's that intentional, brief moment you take to just breathe, to let the panic fade away and allow clear, calm thinking to take its place. It's that little bit of space between the problem and your action. Just think back to Chris for a second. His ultimate success, it didn't come from being the fastest person or the most technical person. He solved the problem by simply being the calmest person in the room.
And honestly, this is the most important lesson of all. In the incredibly complex systems we all work with today, staying calm under pressure isn't just some soft skill. It's a core technical skill, every bit as vital as any certification or degree you could ever get. So as we start to wrap this up, just remember that your very first reaction in a crisis, it sets the tone for everything that follows. The simple lesson from Chris's story is this: just think before you reset. So this right here is the path to clarity. It's a simple little sequence that can guide you through pretty much any crisis. You just pause to calm your mind, you observe what's really going on, you investigate to understand why, and only then do you act with confidence.
So let's end with this one final thought. An amateur's goal is just to make the problem go away, but a professional's goal is to understand it so deeply that they can make sure it never comes back. And that is the true measure of a professional.
Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for watching this video. My name is Naresh. I am the content creator behind this YouTube channel. I have created a community for Citrix learners where I will be posting a lot of details on Citrix products and how to work in Citrix environments. I'm going to mention the link in the video description so you can click on that link and you can become part of the community. All right, see you soon. Bye bye.